For this video, I'm going to show a Point-to-Site VPN. I'm continuing off of that and have a new use case. So I'm going to create a clean virtual machine because all different clients, workstations can have different softwares on them and everything. So I'm just going to create a virtual network and I'm going to spin up a Windows 10 virtual machine in it, and it's going to have a private and a public IP address on it, and that's going to function as a point over here. And then I'm going to create a second virtual network as a site, and I'll spin up a Windows Server VM in it, and I'm going to install IIS on it, but it's only going to have a private IP address. So in order for IIS to work, since it can't connect it to it through the internet, since it doesn't have a public IP address, I'm going to create the Point-to-Site VPN, so then it'll be able to. So first thing I'm going to do is, make a Windows Server virtual machine and install IIS on it. So I'll come back after I've done everything. So, Windows Server, and I'm not going to need to do open port 80 because, when you connect both of the virtual networks together, then the default network security group rules says they could the traffic can communicate with them. So anyway, so just one thing to note is that make sure you have enough address space to do the gateway subnet, because when you create the virtual network gateway, that service will launch virtual machines in the gateway subnet, and then the VMs will provide the required routing services. So anyway, let's create a new one. So I'm going to call it site VNet, and I'll change. You could just 10.00, just make sure it's /16, and then the subnet name, I'll do subnet A. Make sure it's /24. Okay. And let's turn off. We don't need a public IP. Let's say for the use case, it wants to be as secure as possible, so it doesn't want to be open to the internet. And everything else is good, so we can review and create. I'll come back when it's ready. So since we don't have a public IP, I'm gonna add a custom script extension. Here we go. Next, and I'm gonna browse for the file for IIS. But first, I'm gonna need storage account. So I'll make a new one because I'm not gonna use that one. I'll just call it P2S. P2S storage, and I'll do V2, and everything else is fine. Alright, it's ready. Go to it, make a new container, we'll call it data, go in it, upload the script file over here, and I don't think I have installed, so it's this one. Yeah, it just creates IIS on it. So I'm gonna download, I'm gonna extract it and everything. I'll come back when it's ready. Alright, cool. Install IIS and upload it. Alright. Alright, so now we have to have the file. Now we have the file. Now we're going to choose that file. And we got it. Now we don't need to put any arguments anymore. And create it and come back when it's ready. So just want to say while it's doing that, so basically we started creating the right side, the Azure side of the Point-to-Site, the site side of the connection. And now I'll begin working on the left side of the point, where I'm going to create, the Windows 10 VM. with the public and private IP address. So anyway, let's create that second virtual machine. And the only thing is, let's search it. Windows 10. This one, and let's do Enterprise version 19.19 Gen 1. And everything else should be fine. We'll call it the client VM. So I'll come back after filling in everything when I go to the networking part. Alright, so I'm going to create a new virtual network and call it client VNet, and looks good. So now I'll create it. Come back when it's ready. Alright. Oh, it's not ready. Never mind. Alright, so now I'm just gonna RDP to it. And I'll come back when we're in. Alright, so I connected into it, and you know, it works. So anyway, so that's I set up the left side, you know, the point side. So now I'm going to show you know, the gateway subnet, and then create a virtual network gateway. And also, when you create the virtual network gateway, you're going to need to create a public IP address, because like the traffic that flows from the Windows 10 machine, the workstation, the point, goes to the internet, and then it goes to the public IP address, and then it goes to, you know, the site. So let's go to virtual machines. Let's go to the demo VM. Go to its virtual network. Go to subnet. And instead of normal subnet, you need a gateway subnet. And I'll leave the address range. I'll leave it as gateway subnet. Everything's fine. I'll save, and now it's adding that subnet to the site virtual network. Alright, so let's go back to demo VM, and notice it's in East US, and I'll put everything East US to make it simple, but this is what's important, that it's matching the site. So now let's actually create the virtual network gateway. Create region, change it to East US. Let's call it, oh, I do not know how to show that, VNet gateway, and I'll leave as VPN, so we only need express route. I'll leave as route based, and SKU, you know, if you want to be cheaper and everything, like I do, you could do basic, but you just choose which SKU you want and the generation. Anyway, so virtual network, I want it to be the site VNet, and here it is. And this only works because we already made the gateway subnet, but let's say if we chose client VNet, it doesn't work. So do site VNet. Now we need to create the public IP address for the virtual network gateway, so we'll just call it VNet. I'll just call it gateway IP. And I'll leave that as like that. And then I'll review and create. I'll come back when it's ready. Alright, it's ready. So we have our gateway subnet. Then we create a virtual network gateway. So now we need to create the point-to-site configuration. And sometimes it'll still be updating up here, but mine's ready. So point-to-site configuration, configure now. And you could also use the gateway for site-to-site connection, but right now we're doing point-to-site. And we chose a basic SKU, but if you want to have like a lot of clients using the virtual network gateway, then you should choose a higher SKU because it supports more bandwidth. So you can see we need address pool, but also certificates, and I talked about it in the point-to-site video, and I guess I'm gonna call that one overview, and I'll call this one actually doing it or something. But anyway, so we're gonna need a root certificate and client certificate and they're used to authenticate the clients, and then the public key of the certificate is uploaded to Azure. So anyway, I have some code and I'm creating a variable. I'm creating a new self-signed certificate, and that's going to be the root one, and I'm creating another one. It's going to be the client one. So anyway, let me copy the first one. It's PowerShell, so and you go to your client VM, open up PowerShell, paste it in, let's try it again. Alright, it's not taking it line by line. So I'll just do it line by line. Save. I'll just come back after I pasted them all into it. Alright, last one. Okay, did that. Now I'll do the next one. Actually, I'm just gonna clean it up, make it the right way, so I could copy it. Okay, copy this whole line. And create the other one. Alright, so we have our root and our client certificate. So on this machine, let's go to certificates, manage user certificates, and go to personal, inside certificates, and here's your client certificate and the root certificate. So this is on our client workstation machine. So the client certificate is for all, just export it for all the clients that you want to connect to the site. But for now, let's just do only this client. So let's do the root certificate. Go to all tasks, export, next, and we don't want to export the private key. We just do the public one. And base64, next, file name. So I'll just put it in my downloads, and we'll just call it root certificate. Save, next, and everything's good. Finish. Okay. Now let's go look at it. I should just put it in the desktop because here it is, but and we can right click it and open with. Let's open it with Notepad. And here's the details. So make sure to copy this. And now let's actually go to our VNet gateway and just call it whatever you want. And paste it here. And then the address pool, /24. So this is basically just an address range assigned for the clients, assigned to the clients for the point-to-site configuration. So let's hit save. So right now it's in the process of generating a VPN client, and that client is going to have this certificate info in place. And when it's done, you know, with the public key and everything, we could download the VPN client onto our client machine, and wherever else, what other machines that we want to be points. So actually, I'm gonna close the RDP, the connection to it, and let's go to. I want to actually go to this and just right click it and click edit, and go to local resources, click more, and go to your drives, C drive, click C to map your C drive, and click OK, and then connect. So if you just go to your PC, you'll see that you have the map drive of, you know, the local machine you've been using, and I'll just go temp, and now let's go actually let's okay, it's still not done, or I didn't change anything. What do I save? Microsoft Azure network not found. Alright, I'll come back. Alright, let me save all. Let me do it again then. New root cert. It's a good thing I left it open. Copy it. This is root certificate, yep. Public data, okay, click off of it. Save. 172, that's. Oh my god, what the heck? Okay, so I just said delete, and it's deleting now, but here it says download VPN. So I don't know what the heck was happening with it. I think it did get completed, but then it was showing that it wasn't or something. But anyway, I'm just gonna, okay, fine, I'll let it finish deleting, and then I'll have to make this all over again, I guess. Alright, let's hope this works. So configure. What? It is being very weird. Alright. Configure now. Alright. Root cert. Boom. Paste that in. 172.16.0.0/24. Okay. Yep. Save. Alright, come back when it's ready. Alright, so saved. Okay, don't do this again. I will wait till that changes. Okay, I clicked save. I was able to go. I clicked save and then I went to a different blade and I came back, and then I clicked download. But then it said this. It's weird. But anyway, I'll just save it in this temp folder I have. There. And let's come back here. Go here and just refresh. And here it is. And let me actually just copy it. I want to put it in a D drive, temporary storage. And then let's extract it here. Extract all, extract. Okay, so let's open it up. Go to Windows, AMD 64. Here's the VPN client setup. Right click, run as administrator. Yes. Alright, so I installed it. Just type in VPN here. VPN settings. Click open it. And look, here's our VNet that we had. So click it, click connect. Click connect, click continue, and now it's connecting. And here it says connected, so we're good. Now let's open up, does it have Internet Explorer? I just want to see, that's cool. Alright, so it loads this stuff, whatever, you know, the internet, I don't know what to do. And let's go to, let's go to our demo VM, our site VM, and let's get the private IP address. And since we know they're connected now, because you know we downloaded a client and now they're all connected after finishing all the setup of everything. Let's see it for real. Let's verify it. And IIS should pop up, and good, it does, because you know we don't have it on the client VM set up in our point, but we do have our site VM. So that's how you know our VNet on the point is connected to the virtual network gateway, and it's filtering the traffic from it's using the VM here, it's sending the requests, it's going through it, and then it's sending it to the site, which is, you know, the Windows Server VM that's hosting the IIS, and so it's acting as a VPN. And then, you know, we're connected to it, so now we could use all the resources in the site, and one of them is a virtual machine that hosts IIS. So long story short, we created a point-to-site VPN, and you know, the virtual private gateway, or whatever the virtual network gateway is, aka VPN. It's just Azure VPN, not an on-premises one.